Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Mike here from AX Garage. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another episode on this beautiful Milano Red Civic Si. Now on the last episode, we went ahead to finish the entire front end along with the rear bumper and also put some accessory, factory fog lights, rear spoiler, along with a set of brand new Civic Type R headlights. Now today's episode, we'll be doing some OEM Plus upgrades. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, so what we have for you today is a whole bunch of good stuff. I think Mike's gonna back up here and show you all the goodies we have to install on the EM1 over here. I bet Mike wishes these were all going on his. They still might later, but these are going on this guy's car right now. So to start off, this is gonna cover all the bases for mods. We have our KW Variant 3. These are very awesome. In a previous video, we installed these on the purple NSX, and the ride quality is incredible. These have dampening and a bump adjustment along with the helper spring. Your ride quality is very, very good on this. Now, as far as the brakes go, we have a spoon twin block setup right here, specific for this car. We also have a set of Goodridge brake lines, steel braided, and these run a OEM Integra Type R brake pad. With a light modification, you have to remove the low indicator warner tab off of it. We'll show you how you do that. To install these, we're gonna have to modify the backing plate, the dust shield on the car, not a whole lot, just a little bit. And we also partnered that up with the Mini Cooper rotors along with the shims to hold them in place in the proper location. These are slotted, and these are also a set of slotted rotors for the rear. This all together is reason you go with the Mini Cooper, has a overall larger diameter than the stock rotor, so you get a little bit better braking performance. You just need to run these spacers. Miguel's gonna tell you about the other goodies.
So, along with all this other good stuff John just mentioned, we're gonna do a catback system by Tanabe, and we're also going to dress up the engine bay. We have a USDM ITR wrinkle red valve cover, along with some Chasing J's hardware, titanium. So it should look pretty good. And we also have some titanium lug nuts for the wheels. That is not here yet, but soon to come.
Oh yeah, we have a nice set of wheels coming just special for you. And we also have one last step here.
Yep.
That is the titanium Chasing J's dipstick. There is a procedure to marking these because they don't come marked. They're more universal. We'll show you how you do that too. All right, so the first step we're gonna do is we're gonna do the suspension. So we're gonna go ahead and knock the wheels off and get the suspension out, get the new stuff in there. So let's go ahead and get to it.
So wheels are off. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to remove the OEM strut and fork. We're gonna get our new suspension in there, work our way from the front to the back. Stay along and enjoy. Okay, so with these stock suspension, we have to accompany the top hats with our new coilovers. So Mike's gonna take you through the step of how he removed all of that stuff, and we'll go ahead and get it installed on our new coilovers, and we'll get it put in the car.
And next up, we have to remove all the top hats off the original suspension and transfer that to the KW coilovers.
So we got our top hats removed, and we're gonna go ahead and install them on our new coilovers, get them back in the car, and start doing some adjustments.
You don't have titanium nuts?
No.
Yeah. The suspension's all in the car. Now we're ready to do the brakes. Here's the whole setup right here. This is the spoon twin block. They call it a twin block because it's an actual two-piece construction. They have a monoblock one too. That's a different setup. It's not as small and compact as this one. The brake pads sit right inside here. These two come out, bolts onto this spindle here. It comes with the required hardware and spacers and some instructions that are actually in English. That's pretty impressive. And this is the modification on the backing plate that we're gonna have to deal with, which isn't a huge deal either. So let's go ahead and start to get that going. Now the other part, I told you we have to modify the brake pad. We have to take this off. This is a part of the pad that is split to hold this in place, so we're gonna have to grind this off, remove this Warner, because as you can see, it will not fit inside there. So let's go ahead and get all that done and get them bolted on the car. We're ready to install the spoon calipers. This is all original EM1 stuff here. And what is it that we gotta do here, Miguel?
So we got to just dismantle everything, and then we've got to modify the backing plate as the instruction said for clearance for the caliper. And then from there, it's just reassemble with all the new stuff.
All right, well then let's start breaking this bad boy down, because this thing is ready for JDM stopping power.
Oh man.
I don't know if that's better than USDM stopping power, but it's gonna look really nice. I know that for sure.
It will.
All right, so we got everything off. Now we just got to cut these little pieces off, just make it straight with here and here, and that's it. All right, so everything's mounted up and installed up here. The only thing we have left to do is bleed the brakes. But we're gonna go ahead and install the brake lines and the new rotors in the rear. Then we're gonna go ahead and bleed out the whole system. So let's go take a look at the rear. And then do a selfie picture. You gotta do it in your underwear. So the brakes are all done, and next up is the exhaust. So let's go ahead and get it opened up, laid out on the table, then we'll get the old one off and get this one all installed. So let's take a look. All right, so we got the exhaust laid out. It's very nice. I had the same model of this exhaust on my DA, so we already know the quality is good from that. This is rebranded Tanabe. It's now Revel, but it's still the same exact product. I think there was a buyout with the company. Beautiful construction on the stainless steel piping and pan. Beautiful, everything on there. It says medallion right on there. It's a very nice setup with all of the 2.5-inch piping with the resonator. Also, comes with all new gaskets, hardware, and a sweet sticker. Can't go wrong with that. And this says that it is a 93 decibel. I think it may even be a little quieter than that. You're definitely gonna hear the intake on this. So let's go ahead and get the old exhaust off and get this thing mocked up. And one of my favorite parts, I call it the icing, is like this brand new valve cover. I mean, this thing is gonna look beautiful. Mint condition, brand new, never been on a car. We have a new valve cover gasket kit. This Chasing J's titanium kit, we use the rubber from the grommets. We remove the factory metal and use their pieces and all their hardware. And we already discussed the dipstick. We're going to install that, do an oil change, add in the proper amount of oil, then mark our dipstick at the full level. And so let's go ahead and get the old one off, then we'll get this one ready to go on the car.
So this is why we never like to over tighten these things, because it almost came up and it got stuck, was pulling it up, not allowing the nut to come off. So when we install it, we're gonna torque everything down to spec.
That's Miguel's specialty.
Yes.
Every single bolt, nut on his car is torqued with anti-seize. And it's a very impressive thing to watch happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. The OCD is beautiful.
So I removed the ground from the valve cover, which is in the wrong spot. This right here is not a good ground because the valve cover itself is isolated by the rubber. So a really good spot to ground this is directly onto the stud, giving a solid ground directly into the head. That's where I like to do it. Yeah, this is how you know you pay a lot for parts when they put them in separate bags. Yeah. Oh my God. I recommend you handling it with gloves. Titanium are very sensitive to hard oils. Wow.
All right, John, so what do we have here today?
So we already have the suspension installed on the car and we have the new brakes on there. Now we need to complement all that beautiful hardware with some really nice wheels. And this customer decided to go to probably one of the nicer setups, and he went with a set of RegaMaster Evos and a 16x7 38 offset. And these are white. And they're brand new in the box. They're from ICB. And these were actually destined for our project car, but they're ending up on somebody else's car. And he's gonna pair that with a set of Falken Azenis in a 215 45 16. Now, I personally probably would have gone with a 205 45.
It's a little beefy.
But yeah, this is gonna give it a little bit fatter stance. Hopefully the 38 offset will help with any rubbing issues that we have. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and open them all up, get it mounted up, and throw it on the car and see how everything looks.
Give me a high five.
All right. So I'm here with my twin, TJ. At least that's what they call us at the shop. I think I'm the better looking one. He thinks the other way. We'll agree to disagree.
I'm the better one.
But you know what he's better at doing? Laying stickers down on these RegaMaster Evos. So what we're doing now is he's going to be putting the spoke sticker on. And where does that one go?
This goes on this spoke here.
Oh, so it's the one that's to the right of the TPMS. And then there's two other stickers, right? Where do those go?
These are gonna go somewhat like that.
Okay, yeah, so I know on my 15-inch ones, they sat on the inner barrel, but on the 16s,
Somewhat like that.
they go on the outside. So this is how it's gonna go. And we have full confidence that TJ can do this. What's your confidence level?
I mean, I'm into like knockoff wheels, so this might be the first for me.
Well,
Good point.
we're gonna try and put you in a new direction, bro. So the first thing, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the face down with some alcohol because we got a little bit of grease here. There's some tires, or I should call it silicone, from when we mount the tires. We don't want to have anything underneath here that's gonna cause the sticker not to stick. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe down and prep our surfaces. TJ's got a clean set of gloves on so he doesn't get any schmutz on it. The whole idea is to prevent the schmutz. And then let's go for it. All right, so we're ready to bleed the brakes. The first step we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a brake flush too. So we're gonna use our vacuum bleeder, drain the reservoir, add new fluid, and then as we bleed the system out, we'll be sure to have fresh fluid through the entire system. All right, so now it's time to bleed the brakes. This is a really nice product. We get it from Amazon. You've seen us use it before, but I'm still gonna mention it again because I just love how easy it is. There's a check valve built into it. So all you have to do is put it on, and you with these dual bleeders, you always wanna start in the back and work your way forward. So we're gonna go ahead and put our wrench on. Put that on. Crack it loose and tell Miguel to pump. You can see here already, we already got fluid moving and air. There's gonna be a lot of air in this system. All right. Easy as that. You can do this all by yourself. We're gonna put a link in the description. You can order this thing on Amazon. Super cheap, and it allows you to do your brake flushes and bleedings all on your own. Brakes are all bled. We have our spacers in for the rotors Everything is nice and set up. Brakes are 100%. Time to fit the wheels to the car and make our adjustments on the suspension. Once we have our height dialed in, then it's over to the alignment rack, adjust our toes because we have no camber kits on this car, and that's it. She's done, ready to go. So let's go ahead and slap the wheels on and get to adjusting. All right, so this is how the coilovers came from the factory. I think the drop is awesome, and we're probably just gonna leave it like this. No, I'm kidding, man. This thing's higher than it was stock, so we're gonna go ahead and put it up, take the wheels off, make some adjustments. We're gonna have to do a lot of adjusting on this. This is the part that sucks. So let's go ahead and get on it. All right, so these are really simple to adjust. There's a little set screw on the side. All we have to do is back it off a couple of turns. All right, then we take our tool and we just crank it down. All right, so when I said this is the part I hate the most, probably just took us about 2 hours to adjust everything. So it's all done, we got it set up. Now, being as the customer wanted to go with a 215 50, or 16, I should say, the tire is wide. And with no camber kits and not wanting to add any additional camber or retract any, we have to leave the car with a bit of a gap so that we don't have any contact issues. For us, I figure we would probably do a 205 45 15.
Yeah.
So, but 16, sorry about that. But this one is a 215 45 16. Like I said, if we went with the 205, I think it would give us a little bit more clearance and we could bring this car a little bit lower. I know that's our style. Everyone's got their own style, but this one's set up just perfect for this, so we have no contact, no compromises in drive quality, and that's what we're all about. So let's go ahead. We're gonna slap the wheels on. Everything's locked in, onto the alignment.
All right, guys, so we are all done with the adjustment on the coilovers. Next up, we're gonna have to set up our dipstick, the titanium dipstick over here. Now, first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and drain the oil, and John could tell a little bit more how we're gonna mark the dipstick. So Mike already went ahead and changed the oil. How much oil did you put in there, Mike? 4.25.
So we put in the proper amount of oil in there. We're gonna check it on the dipstick. We're right at our full level, which is beautiful. So now what we're gonna do As if you can see on this dipstick that it is a standard length, which is a little bit longer than what our factory one, not by much. Not, you know, it's pretty much the same thing. So we can transfer this mark over, but what I prefer to do is, since we already know it's at the proper mark, we're going to take this dipstick, we're going to put it in the car, pull it out, and we're going to mark that high level as our proper level. So now that we have it marked, we know that our high mark is here, that is our full. This lower mark here is our low oil. That indicates 1 quart low on oil, just like the factory dipstick. So now we can just put it in there and this thing's good to go. That was beautiful. All right, we're at the final step. Thank goodness, right? So all we have to do is the alignment and the test drive, and the car is ready to go. So let's go ahead and lift it up, get it strapped on, and get everything ready to go. So as you can see, it doesn't look very good when it comes to the alignment. So I see we have our toe out here, we have our toe out here, our camber is out, but as we stated before, there's no camber kits being installed on this car at this time. So we're gonna ignore these. We're also gonna ignore our camber being out here. So all we're gonna concentrate is getting our toes into spec, and if there's any issues with the camber, down the road, the customer can go ahead and purchase the camber kit. We can install it, redo the alignment. So right now we're going to start in the back, we're going to adjust our toe and work our way to the board. Oh.
Let me know.
Right there. All right, so we have our toe within spec. Like I said, our cambers, they're not horrible, and it actually works better for our 215 tires in the back right now. So that's good to stay, and they're pretty even. We're all within our spec. Let's move on to the front. Oh yeah, this one's really messed up. So we're gonna see a nice change from this.
All right, guys, just like that, we all finished up with this Honda Civic Si with the help of John and Miguel. We're able to get everything done. So why don't we do a quick recap what we have done so far on this video. We start off with a set of KW coilovers, then we got a set of spoon front calipers along with Stoptech brake rotors and stainless steel brake lines. Move on to the back of the car, a catback exhaust system from Tanabe, also a set of RegaMaster from ICB Motorsport, then finish off with a Type R Integra valve cover and also a four-wheel alignment. And that's wrapped up for this episode. If you like what you see, you want to make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification. My name is Mike, on behalf of AX Garage. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.